Hallelujah, Christ is risen.
He is risen indeed. Hallelujah.
In the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Ghost.
Amen.
Join me in prayer.
On my heart to print your image, blessed Jesus, King of grace, that life's riches, cares, and pleasures never may your work erase. Let the clear inscription be, Jesus crucified for me, is my life, my hope's foundation, and my glory and salvation.
Amen. In his book, The Problem of Pain, C.S. Lewis says, mental pain, or in our context today we'd probably call this mental or emotional pain, is less dramatic than physical pain. But it is more common and also more hard to bear. The frequent attempt to conceal mental pain increases the burden. It is easier to say, my tooth is aching, than to say, my heart is broken. I don't think we grasp the depths of pain felt by the Bethlehem mother and father. Bethlehem is not a large city. Every time we think of the massacre of the Holy Innocents, we imagine thousands and thousands of boys being torn from their house, but really the city of Bethlehem was about 300 people, so overall there was probably a dozen or 20 boys taken from their mother's arms and slaughtered. Josephus, the Jewish historian, didn't even write about this account because it wasn't that big a deal. There wasn't enough people really to write about. It is recorded in Holy Scripture. Holy Scripture is God's Word. This massacre happened. The death of one child is a massacre. I can't imagine. I mean, this is why I hate America. And I hate the West. Oh, he's an irate. No, I'm not. What I hate is comfort. We don't get it. None of us can grasp the reality of a child being ripped from us, taken out front, and stabbed to death. You can't just go up to the mom and say, there. Her baby was just slaughtered. We don't get it. So right now, I want everyone to wipe their mind up. I get what she was going through. No, you don't. You may. Others may not know it, but this reality, let's not assume we get it. Let's go with the assumption we don't get it. Realize how terrible this is. It says in the text, Rachel weeps, cries uncontrollably for her children, and she refuses to be comforted, and that's the problem with English, right? We don't understand what's actually being said. The word is Ellen. She repeatedly did not desire to be comforted. She refused just means she was throwing a fit maybe for a minute. Maybe she was being a little dramatic for a minute. But the reality of what's happening here is that the women of Bethlehem do not, repeatedly, meaning over and over again, day after day, do not desire to be comforted. They don't want to be hugged. They don't want to be told it's going to be okay. They just want their baby back. Right? Am I right, everybody? No, that's not rhetorical. Am I right? Yes. They don't want your pity. They don't want your sympathy card. They don't want your hugs and kisses. They don't want your thoughts. I hate when people say, "Dang your thoughts." You don't want to know what I think about you. They want their baby. They want the pain to go away. If you've ever lost somebody, you know what that feels like. Yes, you may not have watched them be slaughtered right in front of you, but losing somebody. When you're sitting at a funeral and your loved one's lying there in the casket, you're thankful that people are there for you. Yes, you're thankful that they care about you. But at the end, what do you really want? You just want that person back. We weep. When we've lost loved ones, we weep. When we have broken relationships, because of temporal troubles. The reality that life is a daily struggle, a battle that we lose. We're weak because of loneliness. The devil wants you to feel alone. The devil wants you to think and feel what others say about you. We weep, especially we of the household of faith, because of our sin, because of our mistake, our broken and contrite heart. A heart that weeps and laments because of sin, that habitual and addictive sin, that iniquity that feels good in the moment, only to leave us broken and alone with only the voice of the devil accusing us, telling us how terrible we are, telling us how wretched we are, telling us how worthless we are, telling us that there's nothing good in us, ripping away any hope that God could ever love us. We weep because in this life we suffer. We suffer loss. We suffer anxiety. And we suffer a guilty conscience. We suffer. There's no shortage of weeping in our lifetime. Nothing in this world can overcome pain. Can overcome the pain we feel at loss, the pain we feel knowing how wretched and sinful we are, knowing that there is nothing good in us. Nothing can overcome that pain. In the same way, there's nothing in this world that could return those Bethlehem boys back to their mothers. There's nothing in this world that can overcome your pain. Christ is not of this world, but from above. Yes, conceived by the Holy Spirit and born of the Virgin Mary, He is our Lord. He is God in the flesh, made manifest, God and man. He is the Redeemer of mankind. And when we look at this narrative today, it doesn't make sense to us. When anyone reads this narrative, it just seems like God is unfair. God is unjust. God doesn't care. He lets Jesus flee to Egypt. Why didn't He warn all the other babies? Does anyone ever ask that question? Why didn't God appear to the other 14 or so dads and say, take your kids away so they can live too? Why did God let them die while Jesus got to escape? If you have never asked that question, then you don't have faith. Because that's a question that you should ask. Why? It doesn't seem what? Fair. It doesn't seem right. It's not. It's not right. There's nothing that can appeal to our intellect to make sense out of this. But we ask that why question because of this problem. We think this place is pretty awesome. We think this place is pretty cool. We think this life is the best. It's not. The reality of the butchering of the holy innocents is the reality of our fallen and sinful world. Herod didn't want to worship king, he wanted to be king. And he'd kill anybody that got in the way. Do you ever do that? Are you ever that way? You're always right and everybody else is always wrong. If you ever wonder if more than two people say, you're kind of losing it, they may be right. This world is not the greatest. This world is not the best. We have pain in this world. Christ was saved from Herod's sword so that He may return to fulfill the prophecy that from Egypt shall my son be called. He shall be called a Nazarene. But more important, the prophecy of Genesis 3:15. He shall crush your head and you shall bruise his heel. Jesus returned from Egypt, went to Nazareth, and came forth in the fullness of time as the Son of God, standing there in the Jordan, And the Father opened heaven and said, "This is my beloved Son, in whom I am well pleased." I am well pleased because he is the one that has come to assume all of the sin. From Herod's anger, to David's lust, to Thomas's unbelief. Why don't we call him unbelieving Thomas? Doubting Thomas. It sounds nicer, right? It's a little more, I can't say that word. Makes it taste better. To betraying Judas, to denying Peter. Christ assumed it all. He assumed the moments when you're a bad parent. He assumed the moments when you're heartless and callous. He assumed the moments when you cry uncontrollably because of worldly problems without realizing, wait a minute, I'm heaven bound. The thing I have right now is a transient affliction, something that's temporary. My friends, Christ was saved from Herod's sword, from that massacre, so that he could go to the cross and be massacred, not by Herod, but by his own Father. That his Father could sacrifice his Son. That atonement may be made for you. That all of your sin, past, present, and future, every single sin, like I say over and over and over again, I'll say it till I'm blue in the face or probably till I'm dead. There isn't a sin that Jesus didn't die for on the cross for you. There isn't one thing that Jesus didn't take to Calvary for you. He was not destined to die just because of himself at 2 years old in Bethlehem. He was destined to die as the sacrificial lamb on the cross, so that those boys of Bethlehem, those boys that were fed to crocodiles in Egypt, anyone slaughtered, the 50-something odd million children butchered in America since Roe versus Wade, may have their sin atoned. That the abortions may be forgiven. Don't we pray for that every Sunday? That the woman who's had an abortion. How do you think that woman feels who's had an abortion? Do you think she feels awesome? She walks around every day going, man, I'm glad I killed a baby. No. She feels about that tall. She feels like junk. My friends, Christ being saved and not slaughtered with the innocents makes no sense to the intellect. But it is what faith takes hold of. Because Christ was put to death for our salvation. As a father in the faith of mine said, the boys of Bethlehem were not abandoned. Their mothers found comfort in the wounds of Jesus, who died also for them. Now they have been reunited with their sons. They will never be separated again. And already now, after maybe 50 long years of grief here on earth without their babies, they have enjoyed nearly 2,000 years in perfect bliss, won by Jesus Christ with their children. My friends, just as Jesus went to the cross to win eternal life for the holy innocents and the lamenting mothers, so he went to the cross to assure you that when your exile here is over, heaven awaits you. Later in the book, Lewis says, our Father refreshes us on the journey with some pleasant inns, I-N-N-S, but will not encourage us to mistake them for home. My friends, it is good you are here. Foretaste and feast to come. For your God does not leave you alone in this exile, in this pilgrimage, in this life. He does not leave you alone to weep and lament. He does not leave you in a worldly despair, but leaves you, yes, you are broken. Yes, you are contrite. Yes, you have a godly despair. He leaves you his gifts of forgiveness. He does not leave you to fend for yourself, to fight to become his child, but claims you in those waters as his own child, adopts you, gives you his name, that you may live forever. He does not leave you each week to struggle for yourself, to find the strength to get through it. Did anyone mess up this week? Anybody in here? Anybody lose their cool this week? Anyone? Yeah, of course he did. I did too. I'm sure Pastor Daniels did too. Did you? Once or twice? It's okay. That's why he gives you this blessed feast. You may be forgiven. friends, you're absolved of all of your sin. The sin that brings you despair, the sin that brings you to tears and weeping. You are forgiven it all. You are acquitted. It is nailed to the cross that you may bear it no more. These grace given you in this life, that you may get through its strife to the joys of heaven immortal. My friends, we can't go back 2,000 years and comfort the lamenting mothers of Bethlehem. But what we can is comfort one another in our moments of trial, in our struggles, and in our hardships. Dad, pastor, appealing for a second, not one of them is ever justified in reporting your neighbor's sin. Ever. It's like when my children go after each other, I tell them, you come to me. Your job is not to put each other down. You have the gift of building each other up in Christ, of forgiving each other all of your sins, and saying to one another, take heart, dear brother. Take heart, dear sister. Because of Christ, heaven awaits us. It's not going to be easy in this life. Praise the Lord. The life to come has a bliss none of us can ever comprehend. But all of us get to inherit and enjoy forever. Hallelujah! Christ is risen.